If you're like most people on this planet, you consider yourself a good person. You probably hold doors open for people, you have good manners, and of course you would never think of breaking the law. But you might be surprised to learn that you may be breaking multiple laws every day and you don't even realize it. Yes, there are laws in place that forbid many of the things that we are used to doing every day, but are actually illegal. So today, I'm going to tell you exactly what those laws are, and trust me, they're going to surprise you. And yes, these are real laws, and yes, you can be arrested for them. So, without further ado, here are 10 laws you've broken without even knowing. Yeah, you also might want to get your lawyer on the phone by the end of this one, just in case. Number 1 is singing Happy Birthday. If you've ever sang the song Happy Birthday in a public place, believe it or not, you've broken the law. Surprise! The song was actually copyrighted back in 1935, and technically, you need to pay royalties in order to use it. Now, you might be thinking, well, right, that's technically the law, but nobody actually abides by it. Well, actually, that song brings in an estimated $2 million a year, so somebody's paying it. The copyright to the song was purchased by Warner Music in 1988 for $25 million, and since then has been the topic of multiple lawsuits. Now, the song remains in a huge gray area at the moment, but most legal professionals realistically consider the song to be in a public domain at this point. However, Warner Music would disagree, mostly because the song is the highest earning single song in history, as well as the most recognizable song in the English language. But don't worry, you keep singing that Happy Birthday song, whatever makes you feel good, baby. You stick it to the man with your bad self. Number 2 is connecting to unsecured Wi-Fi networks. Let's be completely honest, some of you get pretty excited when you see your neighbor has unsecured Wi-Fi. Free surfing and no bill. Good times, except that it can get you thrown in prison. Connecting to an unsecured Wi-Fi connection falls under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which makes it a crime to have unauthorized access to anyone's computer or their Wi-Fi. How serious is it? Well, in the United States, it's a third-degree felony that carries a prison sentence of up to 2 years in jail and up to $10,000 in fines. Now, realistically, will this happen? Probably not, but I wouldn't want to test getting caught. Besides, if you really want Wi-Fi, just come over to my place. My Wi-Fi is Bill Nye the Science Fi, and the password is Science Rules. I'm a loner. Number 3 is selling stuff online. Most of us at some point have sold something online, whether it's through eBay or some other online merchant. And these sites have very clear rules when it comes to selling things like bootleg movies, alcohol, and tobacco products. This you already know. But did you know that anything you sell online, big or small, must be claimed as income on your federal tax return? Oh yeah, you're going to jail because you sold an old sweater. Sorry. No, of course I'm kidding. Chances are the federal government is not going to find out about the $10 that you made off of selling your old pogs, but the fact remains that the law requires you to claim that money. In fact, theoretically, the IRS, CRA, or whatever governing tax body your country has doesn't care where your income comes from as long as you claim it and pay taxes on it. This literally means that if you're a drug dealer, you better be claiming all those dime bags you're selling, baby. Although nobody really expects all you mini Pablo Escobars out there to start paying your fair share of taxes, so you go on your way. Number 4 is throwing away junk mail. Okay, be honest, if you've ever moved into a new place, what do you do with the junk mail that you received that was meant for the previous tenants? How many times have you actually written return to sender or person has moved on those envelopes and taken the time to go back to the post office? I'ma guess none of you. Most people in those situations wind up throwing those pieces of mail in the garbage, but guess what? It's super illegal. In fact, it's a federal crime to open, destroy, or otherwise tamper with another person's mail. And that includes tossing it in the trash, even junk mail. How illegal is it? Well, try a $250,000 fine and potentially 5 years in prison. Yikes. Number 5 is carrying a marker. If you like crafts, prepare to cry. Believe it or not, if you've ever carried a marker like a Sharpie or any other kind of permanent writing tool, depending on where you are, you likely broke the law. This is because many places have passed anti-graffiti laws that ban you from carrying aerosol cans or permanent markers. In the US, many states like New York and California have even passed laws making it illegal to buy markers if you're under the age of 18. The government considers them graffiti tools, and although it's unlikely that you'll be frisked, or for that matter arrested, in many states it's not worth the risk. Number 6 is using a car air freshener. That air freshener hanging from your rear view mirror making your whole ride smell like pine trees and bird songs is actually illegal. According to many cities, states, and highway patrol agencies, anything that hangs to impede your view of your windshield, even a small amount, can lead to an accident and therefore is against the law. Yes, this includes most air fresheners, hanging dice, sunglasses, or anything else that restricts your field of vision. Even though it might seem completely silly, it's been proven that even a tree-style air freshener can completely block out someone on a motorcycle if it sits at the right angle. Number 7 is betting with your friends. If you've ever been hanging with your friends and you all start placing bets, say on a game like football or basketball, you may have actually broken the law. According to the Illegal Gambling Act in the US, if there were 5 or more people involved in a total of $2,000 or more, it constitutes illegal gambling and is punishable for up to 10 years in prison. Now, you likely haven't bet that much, so you're probably okay. But if you ever had a poker night with the dudes, there's a chance that that amount may have been involved. Now, don't worry, you're not going to prison. Unless someone narcs on you. Watch out for that new guy with a mustache. You can't trust anyone with a mustache. Number 8 is throwing snowballs. As a kid growing up in Canada, snowball fights were super common, as they are pretty much anywhere else in the world that it gets cold. It's one of the only benefits that we get for living in a giant freezer for 6 months of the year. But because it's on this list, you guessed it, throwing snowballs and the act of hitting someone with it is actually assault. Now, before you roll your eyes and think that that's stupid, in February of 2014, a 13-year-old boy in Chicago threw a snowball and hit a police officer in the arm. And guess what? The boy was arrested, brought up on felony charges, and was suspended from school for 5 days. And that wasn't the only case. In 2010, 5 young men in New York City were arrested for the same thing. So obviously, the moral of the story here is don't throw snowballs. Throw the snowball, hit him in the head, and just run as fast as you can. Get away, just laugh it. Laugh as you go, because you got him good. Number 9 is using fake names online. If you've never done this, you haven't been on the internet. Everyone at some point has entered fake info online for something, whether it's an online registration form, a Facebook name, or some gaming site. And again steps in the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. That act forbids anyone from using a false name for signing up for anything, and believe it or not, doing so constitutes hacking and is punishable for up to 20 years in prison. That's right, you want to think again about calling yourself Tony Flamingo? But hey, you're thinking nobody's actually gonna go to jail for something like that, right? Nope. In 2010, a prison guard named Matthew Lacroix was arrested for creating a fake Facebook profile for his boss. And arrests like this are becoming much more common as cyberbullying and fraud continues to grow, so don't risk it. P.S. If anyone leaves a comment on this video with the username Tony Flamingo, I will personally respond to it. And number 10 is swearing in public. Everybody at some point swears. In fact, studies suggest that swearing is a healthy and natural way to relieve anger. But believe it or not, if other people hear you, you just broke the law. In many places, including the United States and Canada, the criminal code states that if swearing causes other people in the vicinity to take notice, then it is indeed an offense that can be met with fines and, yes, even jail time. It falls under creating a public disturbance or disturbing the peace, so be careful. So those were 10 laws that you've likely broken and didn't even know it. But now that you know, I need to know because I'm curious. Be honest now, how many of these laws have you broken? You don't have to say which ones, but just leave a number in the comments. Or, you know, if you're feeling badass, say exactly which ones. Ooh, look at you. And as always, if you're subscribed to my channel, remember to click the little notification bell beside the subscribe button so that you can enable notifications to be alerted for the next time I upload my next video. And that's it. Have a great day, guys. Obey the law. I don't want you to be going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You're valuable to me. I love you. I don't want no conjugal visits. What? Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.